Hey all. From trying to hit bicyclists and then driving in their clearly marked lanes to dealing with speed bumps, let's check in and see how 12.6.4 FSD on Hardware 3 is handling the real world. So welcome to beautiful post-rainy Seattle as it starts to get sunny and ever so slowly dry up. You're gonna see us here slow the clip down because there's no stop sign for me, but FSD does a great job at coming to a stop for those pedestrians. But then this Kia decides to take his opportunity and cut in front of me, so that's fine. But then as we pull up to this next intersection of stop signs, the FSD does come to a complete stop, but then it starts to encroach. And as you can see on the screen, there is a bicyclist, and I have to slam on the brakes right there because it kept on encroaching despite seeing that bicyclist right there. So that was a pretty big failure because 100% the Tesla would have put itself in front of the bicyclist's very clear path. Now in the parts where nothing really of note happens, I'm gonna speed up the video, and particularly at these next two intersections I'm gonna really speed it up because they take forever. I will say I liked that it got to the rightmost left turn lane approaching this intersection at Mercer, because at the next intersection, once it completes this left, it will be taking a right. So that was nice to see. Now I am going to slow it down again here so that Cybertruck gets in front of me, no issue. And then I liked that FSD allowed that blue car to get in very smoothly. It didn't knee-jerk react, it didn't slam on the brakes, so that was great. And then when the blue car did kind of brake somewhat quickly, the FSD, as slowly as possible, actually came to a pretty good stop. It was very human-like, and it did well in my opinion. Now we're gonna go up some roads up into a neighborhood called Queen Anne. There's lots of stop signs that we have to stop at, and FSD still does stop much longer than a human would. Even if a human were to come to a complete stop, it would start to go much faster than FSD takes to get started again. Now notice how I had to put down my sun visor. I remember back in the early days of FSD where if the sun was shining like that, FSD just wouldn't work, but now it seems to work flawlessly, which is amazing, and the visuals don't seem that impaired. But as soon as I say that, notice how the car actually starts driving on a bike lane, and it even marks it a little bit on the screen, so it does see it. Not a huge deal, especially when there's no bicyclists, but it is a little bit concerning, and it's not something that I would have done personally. Now we're slowing it down once more because we are approaching one of those fun intersections in Queen Anne where it's not just 4 roads, this time it's 5, I believe. And what's interesting is FSD actually nails this because we are not turning into the first right turn option, it's the second right turn option. But from the get-go, all the way from the stop sign, FSD turned on the turn signal, and that's what I would have done to start to indicate that I would be turning right, whether that's the first one or the second option. Okay, so we put a new pinpoint in the GPS to keep on going. We're going to Cary Park now. It does this stop sign beautifully, even though that's sometimes one that it can also be pretty challenging, especially when there's traffic on the right side, and it's very hard to see that, but luckily there wasn't really any traffic on the right side. Now, I like how it's like naturally navigating these smaller streets. It's kind of probably how a human would take it as well, not just perfectly on the right side, but taking the optimal path. Okay, so we're slowing it down one more time. We got some speed bumps ahead. We were going about 22 miles per hour, and it dropped to about 18 miles per hour, so it did slow down, which is a good thing. We have more speed bumps, back from around the 23 miles per hour range back down to about 18 miles an hour, so it does slow down a little bit. I noticed that with those smaller speed bumps, it really these days does slow down at least a little bit. With larger speed bumps that are incorporated to like the whole road, from one side of the road to another side of the road, it seems to not recognize those as speed bumps, and it usually continues its speed. Now, here in Queen Anne, there's no stop signs, and I'm glad that it did stop before taking that left, and thankfully it did that because there was a bicyclist there. And now at our destination, it pulls off to the side, which is really nice to see. It doesn't do a parallel parking operation, but at least it does pull over to the side, so that's pretty nice. All right, so there we have it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Let me know if you have any suggestions on how I can improve these videos. Thanks.